Welcome back to 5 Minute Fantasy Football, presented to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and our friends over at Underdog. Make sure you download Underdog, join millions, and play this weekend. They got the Battle Royale, got their Pick'em contest. Use promo code FFSGPN, so then we sent you, and you also get a deposit bonus up to $1,000, 100% deposit bonus for first-time users. Let's look at their rankings. Saquon Barkley leads with the highest of the projections. You have Josh Allen, 14.5, Terry McLaurin, James Cook. Again, it's 4 teams per Battle Royale draft with a 6-round draft. Round 2 is Jaden Daniels, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, and A.J. Brown. You do not have to pick a tight end. You have the option for wide receiver, tight end. And obviously, there's just limited options due to only 4 teams playing. Saquon and Josh Allen are far above the rest of the group. You can go with a late-round quarterback. Just looking at the quarterbacks, Josh Allen is a first-rounder. Jaden Daniels is a second-rounder. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are far behind. Teams are not going to get 2 quarterbacks because you can only play one. So if you want to just wait it out and get Hurts or Mahomes, you feel free to do that, and you can stack the other positions. Looking at the running back position, Saquon, you get him in the first round. James Cook is kind of borderline first, second round. Brian Robinson is the next guy, and you can get him in the third or fourth round. Kareem Hunt, we've seen him get a lot more work than Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco just hasn't seemed right this year ever since the injury. Austin Eckler, he's an interesting guy because Brian Robinson gets that really, really tough Philly front, and maybe Austin Eckler in a game where they have to pass a little more might be an option. And then, of course, you got some of the guys you're looking for, somebody that's going to be a wild card, a Ty Johnson, a Ray Davis later on as your last pick. Look at the receivers. Terry McLaurin projected for the highest of the receivers. Interesting to see, in the last 4 teams available, you don't have your Jamar Chases or your Puka Nakuas or your Justin Jefferson, these top flight receivers. But Terry McLaurin is a good receiver. He just did not do well last time he played against Philly. Quinyon Mitchell is injured, but he's a full participant today. And Terry's a little bit of a gamble with how tough that Philly defense has been. But he's also been playing really, really well. Xavier Worthy, A.J. Brown, Khalil Shakir. Those are your top 4 receivers. Then Devonta Smith, Diami Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins. Diami Brown is a guy where if you get Jaden Daniels and you can't get McLaurin, that's a nice guy to go with. He's hot right now. You look at Hopkins, he is cold. Cooper, they have bigger names, but Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins are guys that I'm fading. Hollywood Brown, he's got some fresh legs. He missed a lot of the season. He's looking a lot better than Hopkins. And, again, like I said, these are some of your last round picks. The last round, you're going to have to choose, Hopkins, Brown, Coleman, Zacchaeus, Cooper, and honestly, like Hollywood Brown's probably my pick in that group, unless you want to just hope that Mac Hollins catches a bomb. But again, there's some good, decent receiver options. Tight end, you do not have to pick one, but you still got 4 good options. Travis Kelce is the obvious choice as the top guy, as a first rounder in this format. You have Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, and Dalton Kincaid. So let's look at some of the teams. So I put 2 teams together tonight just to show you guys. So this one I ended up picking in the 4 spot. Actually, no, this is the number 1 spot. So I had the 101, took Saquon Barkley. Then I got Jaden Daniels. Ended up with Pacheco. Wanted to go contrarian. A lot of people are getting Hunt. Got Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, and Dallas Goedert for this one. And then we have another team as well. With this team, also got Jaden Daniels, but I went James Cook and Brian Robinson. I picked from the 4 spot. So I got James Cook and then Terry McLaurin, and then I got Jaden Daniels in the 3rd. Brian Robinson Jr., Jamie Brown, and Dalton Kincaid going heavy on Washington. And we'll see how this one goes. I want to talk a little bit about the Pick'em. One thing that's really fun with the Pick'em contest is they offer you a lot of, touchdown props. And touchdowns are really hard to come by. And so, you have your obvious guys, your Saquon Barkley's. But, you look at someone like A.J. Brown. I'm okay going lower on the interceptions. We've seen how his production has been, how Jalen Hurts' production has been. Touchdowns are really hard to come by. There's only going to be, typical game is going to be, maybe 5-6 touchdowns total, and you're picking the guy that's going to pick it. So, of course, AJ Brown is a little bit tougher, but you look at someone like, you look down a little bit lower, and that's why they don't give it to you on the Jahan Dotson or Dallas Goedert, Luke McCaffrey's. But Zach Ertz, you think he's going to score a touchdown in this one? Do you some other options? Do you think Dammy Brown's going to score a touchdown? I'm always looking for the touchdowns as a spot where you can pick the lower, and try to find somebody, especially you got some of these mid-tier guys, lower guys, where they're a little smarter on it this week with the lower options. But Brian Robinson Jr., that's going to be a really tough front. You pick Brian Robinson Jr. or Austin Eckler to not score a touchdown or both. Some decent building blocks, but for a few of the pick'em that I picked for this, I really like the Mahomes rushing attempts. We've seen him rush a lot in the playoffs. You also have the advantage of kneel downs and things like that. Josh Allen, we could see him, hit this in the first half. The Chiefs play a lot of man, and Josh Allen is, as far as his check down, it's just going to take off and run. I mean, the Super Bowl's on the line. The Bills are wanting to go. So I'm looking for that. And the Bills, they've been 12-1 with their starters in the last 13 games. In that game they lost, they scored 42 points. I expect a lot of points in this one and a lot of Josh Allen rushing the ball. Saquon Barkley scoring a touchdown. I mean, you could probably see him score 2 touchdowns. And then Jaden Daniels, same thing as Josh Allen. Just these quarterbacks are going to run the playoffs, and I'm going to hit the higher on those every single time. So, as always, good luck this week, and see you next week.